Over editing your content is a thing. Please don't over edit your content. And I know I've been there. I've done the whole, let me just look it over one more time. Let me just make one more tweak. Here's the thing. I have seen this happen where over editing, you reach a point where you actually make the content worse. Because what you do the more you edit it, the more you look at the minutia, which to a certain point is good. Don't get me wrong. That's how you catch the typos and things. But when you're so focused on the minutia, you fail to see the forest for the trees. And so what you end up doing is you change one little thing that then suddenly it doesn't make sense in the larger picture. Suddenly you're repeating a word a whole lot of times, or you're using synonyms because you're trying to avoid a word and you're using synonyms that no one would use or really understands, right? And it's just because you're trying too hard. And again, I get it. I have that perfectionist instinct too. I too have been very tempted to just one more thing. And I know it's your marketing content, it's representing you, it's representing your business. There's a lot at stake. I know, which is why you can't over edit. So here's what you should do instead. First of all, just write it out. Don't edit while you're writing your first draft. Again, I have broken that rule myself a few times because it's very tempting, but try to resist the urge to edit while writing. Just write it out. Get all your thoughts out. Don't worry about organizing it, making it pretty, none of that. Just dump all your thoughts out there and then leave. If you want, if you're a person who uses chat, organize when I write really well. So this is not something that works for me, but for a lot of people, if you want to use ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or your AI of choice, you can dump your thoughts into it and tell it to organize it for you into a blog post, a course, a social media post, whatever content it is you're looking to create. AI is great at that, right? Don't rely on AI for information because it will lie to you very convincingly. But what you can do is put your own information in there and just have it organize it for you. If you're organizing it yourself, or even if you are having AI, it can be great to have that first draft. And then we used to say put it in a drawer. Now that everything is digital, it's just close that file. Don't open that file for at least 24 hours, preferably a week. A week is a good amount of time so that you don't completely forget about it, but it gives you enough mental space from that file that you can then come back and look at it with fresh eyes. Review it first for the big stuff, right? Make sure it's clear, it's concise, it makes sense, it flows well, all of those things. That's what you're going to do on the first run through. The second run through is when you start looking for the typos and the misspellings and the little stuff. Now, here's where your brain will unintentionally trick you because by this point you've read through it twice at least, right? So now your brain is going to go, yeah, we know what's here. We know what we wrote here. And it just kind of skims over it. That's when you miss that small stuff. That's when you miss the typos because you know what you meant to write. Your brain goes, yeah, we know what's there. And you miss the small stuff. So 2 ways to get over that. Number 1 is read out loud. I do this all the time. My dog looks at me like I'm nuts. I don't know if she thinks I'm talking to her or if she's just like, why is my human talking to herself? But it really helps because it forces you to slow down. Now you have to read at the rate that you speak. You can't just, keep skimming over it. So that's one is read out loud. The other one is change the font because that tricks your brain into thinking it's a completely different piece of content. Your brain looks at it at first glance and goes, oh, this is new. We haven't seen this before. So it will automatically slow down because it thinks it's totally new. So that's another way to do it. If you are writing content for your website, like when I'm writing a blog post, I always do a preview. And now I'm looking at it, not on the back end of the website, but the way it will look when it gets published on the website. And that, again, looks totally new. So it tricks my brain and then my brain slows down. So, and last but certainly not least, get another pair of eyes on it. Ideally, a professional editor. It does not have to be a professional editor. It could just be if you have a kid who's really good at English, if you have a business partner, if you have a friend who's willing to read it, who's not in your industry, that's really, really helpful because then they will be able to point out to you, what does this word mean? What does this acronym stand for? Because you're going to automatically insert those things without realizing what you're doing. So getting a different pair of eyes can help you figure out, oh yeah, that's right. I should probably literally spell that out. So that is it. That is my tip for you today on slowing down and editing your content without editing and then just let it go. Just be like Elsa and Let it go. Let it go. I'm not going to sing anymore, I promise. That's it. Have a great week and happy blogging, everyone.